Welcome, Hornet Nation, to Bantam East Region Tournament. The next step in the path to landing a berth in the state tournament. Regions are the same format, double elimination, as we saw in districts. So we are here in Stillwater. Stillwater. I'm sure the town elders of yore stayed up all night drinking and pondering the inherent contradiction in the name they chose, given that they are situated on a river. But the action in this arena will be anything less than still, as 8 hungry teams from districts 2 and 6 have come here to do battle and try to punch their ticket to state. So the Hornets will open their campaign against namesake Stillwater. And they will need to bring all their talents to bear, despite getting the best of the Stillwater ponies 3 times this year, because every team is going to have a chip, chair, and a chance. So we are moments away from puck drop, so strap in, buckle up, and we'll be back. All right, so we got the quickster between the pipes. And we're going to start out with Nolan, Ivany, and Ferrara, backed up by Mizzelt and Darlene. And away we go with your Hornets in their Death Star black. Boys battling on the red line, trying to gain control. It's the ponies trying to punch it into the Hornet end. Ferrara tries to slide it over to Nolan. Here come the ponies, driving it on the right side. Stopping short on the circle, looking. Trying to drive it up as the Hornets try to gain control. Get it out of their own zone. As now, long cross-ice pass is intercepted at the blue line. Pony's not sure if they were onside or offside. As Darlene picks it up and claims behind the net. He gets it up to Nolan. Nolan gets it up to Nolan. Nolan wheels on the circle, drives in. Short side shot. Turned aside by the pony tender. Now the ponies roll out of their zone. They look to chip it up into the neutral zone and down in. Here's a foot race. Bauer, last man back, slaps the puck aside. Chips it up the wall to Ferrara. Ferrara gets it up to Ivany. Ivany works it down the left flank as he drives in on the dot. He tried a shot. Oh, and he loses a glove. And the puck just slid across the crease. So we have no score in the opening minutes of this contest. Long stretch pass, rolls up on the wall. Here's a break for the ponies, driving in. A shot off the clanker. Did you hear the clank? Ponies now driving it right back down behind the cage. Bauer picks it up, looks up ice. He whiffs on the pass. But Lucky Helmer was there as he sends it up to Ewers. Ewers to Dorsey. Dorsey's got Hester. Driving across the red line, over the blue. Now down, stopping short on the wall, sliding it back to the slot. Intercepted. Ewers trying to hold the zone. And Potter chips it up, and it breaks the seal, and he drives it down into the pony end. From behind the net, Hester rolls it over to Ewers, and it's covered up by the pony tender. Good hustle, good forecheck at 13:05 in the first. So we're going to have Ewers, Dorsey, Hester, Potts, and Potter. Dorsey set to take the draw to the left of the pony tender, tied up on the dot. Both teams poking away at it. Hester drives it down on the wall. Ewers flings it back to Potts. Potts slides to Potter. Potter fires! A long shot. Salted away by the Stillwater tender. And we get a line change. So we're going to have Bergmeyer, Kravita, Wilkins rolling on to take up the cause. Bergie on the draw, tied up, and now the ponies come away with speed through the neutral zone, gaining on the right side, trying to wheel around Potter. Potter does a good job stopping that cold. Wilkins up on the wall. He's driving it up. The ponies pitch it right back. There's a battle on the red line as both teams intent on that first goal. Potts from the backside, sliding it up on the wall to Wilkins. Now it's fired up, and the ponies contain, and they go D to D on the red line. Driving in on the left side, throwing it down into the Hornet end. It takes a funny bounce, and Potter flips it up. He gets it to Kravita. Kravita slides it across to Wilkins on his backside a little bit, and Bergie just punches it down, and we get an offsides. With 12-12 and no score in the first. In this opening game of the Hornets region. Nolan on the draw. Slides back to Darlene. Darlene rolls through the neutral zone and throws it down. But alas, an icing is called. So Minnetonka won their game. And Apple Valley, Egan, Burnsville, whatever that combo situation, they won their game. Off the draw, Ivany rolls around his man, knocked off the puck. Stillwater tries to pitch it up the wall. It breaks down into the zone, and now it slides all the way down, and we will get an icing. And the surprise of the day so far has been that Bloomington Jefferson lost their game, and that makes 3 losses in a row for them. So Nolan on the draw. Off the draw, contained by Mizzle. Mizzle slaps it across, and they can't contain the zone. Stillwater driving down. Held short, now Mizzle picks it up and he throws it. No, he doesn't. He rolls across the line. He's got speed. He's rolling in on the dot. A firing shot on the short side is contained by the Stillwater tender. So we'll do it again with some extremely loud music in here. And they don't know how to cut it off in time. Nolan battles his man, picked up by the ponies as they roll with speed. They're going to have a 3-on-2 situation. Stop cold by Bauer as it's thrown up and held on the line. Now picked off by Ivany. Ivany rolling in. He's got Nolan. He slides it across. There it is. Yes, did you see it? What a nifty poised play by Ivany to hold and have patience, and at the last second slide it back to Nolan. So at 11-14 in the first, the Hornets have struck first, and it is 1-0. So we're going to roll on with Dorsey, Hester, and Ewers, backed up by Helmer and Bauer. Off the draw, tied up, sent back to Helmer from the backside. He slides it to Bauer. Bauer looks up ice. He gets it to Dorsey. A hot pass can't be contained, and now the ponies drive over the line. They wheel it down and send it all the way around behind the cage. Dorsey in on the puck, slapped away by Helmer as he battles his man. He's pressed into the glass. Dorsey in to help out. Both teams tied up. Who's going to come away? It's the ponies. From the corner, they wheel around the circle, stopping short. Now, trying to drive in, a shot doesn't get a lot of wood on it, and the ponies contain and throw it right back down. Helmer battles his man in the corner. Well done. Puck sneaks around to the near side to Hester, who slams it up. It's contained on the line and thrown right back down to Hester. Hester wheels it up on the wall through the neutral zone. He's going to gain on the left side. Rolling across, trying to get on the inside of his man, around the cage, working it, trying to send it back to the D. Now it's Potts, unloads the cannon, and some froth. Oh, a little extra froth. as they tried to bait Ewers, but Ewers would have none of it. I have sent my customary dispatch down to the coaching staff, telling them to remind the boys to stay out of the box. Bergmeyer, Wilkins, Kervita with Potter and Potts. Boys battling in the corner. Kervita tying up the puck. Using his leverage against another tall guy. Up on the wall. Nice pinch there by Potts as the zone is held. Both teams battling, trying to gain possession. Now it's thrown up on the wall, and Potts has to stop it cold on the red line. Trying to chisel it up the wall. Both teams slapping away at it. Kervita gets it down to Wilkins. Wilkins tries to wheel around his man, and Kervita hits traffic as he takes a shot. Here come the Ponies with the 3-on-2 odd man rush, rolling across the line, trying to center it across. Thwarted with a good stick check. Now a one-timer is salted away by the flashing leather of Nolan Quick at 9:32 with a score of 1-0 in favor of the Hornets. So face off to the right of the Quickster. Bergmeyer on the draw. Comes away, the Ponies contain and slam it right down behind the cage. Mizzle pitches it right back up the wall. A bit too far for Kervita. The Ponies send it right back down to the near side. A centering pass is turned away by Bergmeyer. He rolls behind and cycles up. Knocked off the puck. He just chisels it up, slams it down. Wilkins tries a steal, and the Ponies reverse course. Countering across the blue line. Slapped away by Bergmeyer. Driving it behind the net. Mizzle tries to claim it on the near side corner. Ponies playing from the end line. Now, a one-time shot off the side of the twine. Ponies buzzing. Another one-time cranker. Nice stop there by Kervita. It's Kervita rolling. He gains the line. Tries to slide it to Wilkins. Wilkins tries to turn the corner. Nothing. Kervita now. Now it's Wilkins. Battling in the corner. Gets it to Darlene. Darlene across on the backhand side of Nolan. Nolan, one-time shot. There it is. Banging. Banging. More banging. Nothing. At 8:31, we will get a face-off in the Stillwater zone. With Nolan, Ferrara, and Ivany backed up by Helmer and Bauer. Off the draw, Ferrara tries to hold the zone. Stillwater chips it out down into the Hornet end, where Helmer goes over to Bauer. Bauer slides it up. Ivany one-time pass, nicely done to Nolan. Nolan pitches it down into the Pony end. Ferrara meets his man on the wall. He gets knocked out. And it comes back to the point for Helmer. Helmer looks, slides it down to Ivany. Or Nolan. From the corner, Ferrara battles his man on the wall. Now it's back to Helmer. Helmer fires. There's a tip. There's a leg save by the Pony tender across the crease. It's naked. The Ponies come away. They try to drive it up. Bauer throws it back down. Now it's down to Ivany right on the dot. Slides it across. Oh, yes, Ferrara! He lost it in his skates, but somehow he found it. So the Hornets have scored with 7:47 in the first. And they've taken an early lead of 2-0. Ferrara was hungry after being out for a week. He's back. So we got Ewers, Dorsey, and Hester backed up by Bauer and Helmer. Then we get an icing. Off the draw, Dorsey gets it back to Hester, who throws it to Bauer. Bauer from the point, looks, fires, and a shot is deflected. And the Ponies pick it up, and they start their breakout, and they work through the neutral zone. A cross-ice pass goes nowhere. Bauer will be back to claim it. He wheels, he deals, sends it down to Helmer. Helmer looks up ice, on up to Ewers. Ewers rolls across. He's going to gain on the left side as he rolls around the circle. A centering pass is partially deflected. Can Ewers get there? No. It's slammed around to the far side corner as Hester sends it back to Potts. Potts whiffed on the pass, but Potter was poised enough to pitch it down, and here come the ponies with the 3-on-2 situation. Rolling across with speed, a firing shot. Quickie got the save, but he couldn't hold on. Ponies from the corner wheel. Tied up by Potter. Dorsey in to help out. Boys banging. Who's going to come away? It's Dorsey. Dorsey shovels it up, and it's intercepted. Slides all the way down, and Potts battles his man in the corner. He blows a tire. Now the ponies look to center it right out front. Holding. Nice job by Dorsey to tie it up. He can't find it. Now the ponies control from the wall. Sliding back to the point. Looking. A shot deflected and scooped up by Quickie with 6:24. As Berge, Kervita, and Wilkins roll on with Potts and Potter. Berge on the draw, pitched up on the wall by Kervita. Now the ponies work from behind the cage, cycling around. Ponies blow a tire. Here comes Wilkins. Wilkins sliding into Kervita. Kervita across the line. He slides it over. Berge tried to get a piece of it, is banging. And it's contained by the pony tender. Bergmeyer on the draw. Comes away to Wilkins on the wall. Wilkins pinned up on the glass. As the ponies now cycle it around to the far side. Darlene holds. He can't hold. Now it's a foot race. Ponies rolling in. Darlene has to watch the trailer. Trying to slide it across. Mizzle, great job containing his man. Holding him. Kervita up on the wall, trying to work it through. Ponies control. And they throw it out front, but nobody is home. Ponies cycle behind the cage. Intercepted by Darlene, who gets it up to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer rolls over to Kervita. Kervita gains the line. He looks. He tries to pitch it over. He slaps it on down. Deep for Bergmeyer behind the cage. Bergmeyer up on the glass, and the ponies now try to steal it away. Good job. Good pressure by the Hornets. Holding him down. Ferrara's doing good work. Now Ivany working his man. Nolan on the wall, trying to stop it. Comes back to Mizzle at the point. Mizzle walks across the blue line. Sends it down to Ivany. Ivany pitches it behind the net for Ferrara. Ferrara out front. Oh, no centering connection. Nice knockdown by Ivany. He holds it at the point. Pitches it right around on the dasher. Nolan sends it back to Darlene. Darlene across the line, firing. Fires wide. Mizzle centers. Out front. Ponies control. And pitchfork it out all the way down to the Hornet end. Darlene claims from the backside. A long stretch pass, and Ivany chips it into the zone. Stillwater does the favor in return and sends it back down. Darlene from the backside, sliding to Helmer. Thrown up to Ferrara on the red line. Ferrara dances, and Nolan punches it down into the Stillwater end. Less than 5 minutes to go in this first period. So the Hornets have had the better chances. There's a tip out front, but nothing. Ferrara works it on the wall. Stolen away by the ponies with speed, rolling through the neutral zone. Sneaks around Helmer, a cranker. It wasn't certified fresh, and it didn't hit the net. Now, Nolan punches it up to Ivany, and he just couldn't find the handle and slides back to Helmer. Helmer, a long stretcher up to Ferrara. Ferrara battles his man. Now it comes away to Nolan. Nolan pitches it up in the air. Ivany tries to get it, but he dances off his foot. Hester picks off a pass at mid-ice. Nolan now from the backside. Tried to backhand it up. Couldn't get any wood on it. Now up to Ivany. Ivany drives in. He's got Ferrara. 2-on-1 situation. Rolling. Firing. Where is it? That's behind the net. The ponies fling it up on the wall, and Bauer contains. He tries to slide a cross-ice pass. Intercepted, and the ponies now work across the line. A shot is partially deflected and sails to the near side. Helmer holding his man to the outside. Boys battling on the wall. As the ponies come away and drive in on the circle. A firing shot. It's out. It's free. It's banging. Who can get it? Nobody. Now, ponies firing, and they fire over the crease on an open cage. Ewers battles his man on the wall. Bauer comes in to help out. gets stuck in the Zamboni door. Now Ewers and Hester rolling through the neutral zone. Ewers dishes it up on the wall. The ponies contain. They slide it right back out. And we're going to get a penalty. Hooking is the call. At 2:42 in the first, Ewers will take a seat. And the Hornets will be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. So Bergmeyer and Dorsey, Potts and Potter to kill this one off. Potts works against his man, throwing it up on the glass, sends it out. Bergmeyer with a shot. Oh, he almost pickpocketed. Ponies across the line, working on the left side, driving in, stopping short. Back to the point, working across the blue line, down to the circle. A firing shot is turned away by the Quickster. Dorsey shoveling it up on the wall, contained at the point. Working in on the circle, looking for a lane, sliding it back to the top side, down to the circle. Now, working in. And Quick saves it with 2:10 on the clock. And $1:30 left. And the man advantage for Stillwater. So we'll swap out the D with Darlene and Mizzle and get back to work. Off the draw, Bergmeyer ties up his man. Dorsey fires it out, exits the zone, and the ponies will have to reset. From neutral ice, they look at their options. Wheeling, dealing. Trying to slide up, trying to work it around Dorsey. Dorsey stick checks him off the puck. Ponies control from the corner. Mizzleton working it. Back from the point. A firing shot from the high slot doesn't connect. Now the ponies work from the wall. Sliding it around the cage to the near side. To the circle. To the top. Firing wide. Ponies still controlling. The Hornets are doing a good job keeping them to the outside. Back to the point. Firing shot low, legged aside by the Quickster. Ponies just can't get anything from an interior perspective. Darlene picks it up behind the cage, slides it to Mizzle. Beyond Mizzle's stick, Bergmeyer hammers his man as Darlene sends it out of the zone all the way down. This will be waved off. No, it is not. With 1:05 left in the period, 23 seconds in the man advantage. The Hornets are rolling. So Nolan and Ivany on now with Bauer and Helmer. Off the draw, puck comes away to Bauer, and he shovels it to Helmer. Helmer rings it around the near side boards, and the ponies can't contain. They have to wait for onsides. Now they roll across the line, working on the slot, on the dot, firing, legged aside by the Quickster. Comes away. Here's a 2-on-1 situation. Ivany rolls down the right side, slides it across. It's a bit too far for Nolan. Nolan pitches it out front again, banging. Look at this. No, and the ponies contain, and they counter. But it's stolen by Nolan, who throws it down. The penalty has expired. 30 seconds left in the period. Ponies now from mid-ice look up. Pitch it down into the Hornets zone where Nolan is waiting, and he fires it up to Ivany. He's on his backhand side. Ponies working across the red line, intercepted by Ferrara. Now, rolling. Ponies cross the line, looking to center, stick check by Helmer. Good job as he pitches it out of the zone. All the way down. And we have 5 seconds left. And that's going to do it. And we exit the first frame with the Hornets leading 2-0. And we'll be back. All right, start of the second. Fresh 15 on the clock. Nolan, Ivany, Ferrara, backed up by Potter and Potts. Potter on the wall, banging away, picked up by Ferrara. Ferrara looks up ice. He slides it over to Potts. Potts assesses. Slides it up to Nolan. Nolan and rolls through the... it's Ivany rolling. He gains on the right side into the high slot. Firing a shot. There's a tip by Ferrara. Didn't find much connection. So the Ponies cycle behind their cage and now start their breakout. Rolling up on the wall. Chiseling it up. Stopped by Potts momentarily. They still gain control, trying to roll in. Nolan does a good job stopping, and it's picked up by Ivany. He's knocked off the puck. He looks at his options. He's still working it. Across the line. Ivany into the high slot. Looking. Dropping it to Ferrara. Ferrara tried a one-time cranker. Was not certified. And now the Ponies roll back. Tilting the ice. Potter trying to hold his man to the outside. Ponies looking for reinforcements. Nice little tip there by Nolan. He springs Ivany. Ivany now across the blue line, wheeling in. He's got Ferrara. He whiffs on the pass on a stick check. Nolan sends his man up, and here come the Ponies across the line. He's all alone. Long shot, sticked aside by the Quickster. As Potts tries to spring Ferrara, little wobbler pass, couldn't get anything on it, and Nolan punches it down, and the Hornets go for a line change. A long stretcher pass, intercepted now nicely by Darlene. He leaves it on the line, and the Ponies now look up ice. Up on the wall, stolen away by Dorsey. Dorsey cycles across the blue line, drops it to Darlene. Darlene does the same. He fires it up, and Ewers just tips it down into the Pony end. Ponies throw it up on the near side, looking to break out. Hornets giving good pressure, holding the Ponies at bay. From behind the net, Ewers sliding down to Hester. Hester from the corner, sliding back to Darlene, Mizzle. Firing shot, hits traffic. Ewers in on the corner, leaving it to Hester. Trying to get it inside, and the Ponies try to go long distance, but Mizzle will be there first. Cycling around the cage, stopping short, assessing, looking up ice. He rolls by himself, chips it up to Dorsey, sneaks right past his stick, and the Ponies now counter, gaining the line, losing control, but dropping it. A firing shot is deflected. Now out front, bang! Oh, and it was cleared just in the nick of time as Kurvita races up. He is blown up on the line. And Dorsey now picks it up, rolls across, gets it up to Kurvita. Kurvita now driving down, stopping short, leaving it to Hester. Hester works it in on the circle. Mizzle pitches it down to Kurvita, sliding up a one-time shot, sticked aside as Darlene pinches up. And we're going to get something. Roughing is the call. On who, I don't know. It'll be on Stillwater. They are guilty at 12:15 in the second with the Hornets up 2-0. So the Hornets will be on the power play. So we're going to have Hester, Nolan, and Kurvita backed up by Mizzle and Bauer. Nolan on the draw, tied up on the dot. Kurvita pitches it back. Mizzle from the point, assesses. Walks across the line, throws it down to Nolan. Nolan back to Mizzle. Mizzle back to Nolan. Nolan, long pass down to Bauer in the corner. And Bauer tried to send it back. Ponies now on the break. Rolling through the neutral zone. Stops short on the line, and they get an offsides. So we'll have face-off outside of the Hornet zone. Nolan sending it back. And Bauer will claim this from the end line. Looking up, slides it to Mizzle, cross-ice pass over to Nolan. Nolan through the neutral zone. He's going to gain the line, walk in on the slot, trying to whistle-distle. Now a firing shot. It's legged aside, and it's saved by the Pony tender. So we'll do it again. Off the draw, Nolan gets it to Hester. Hester wheels, leaves it for Mizzle. Mizzle assesses, he fires. And it's trapped away by the pony tender. Buck 11 left in the man advantage. Hester controls off the draw. Sends it to Bauer. Bauer fires. It's looping up over. It's batted away. From the point, Nolan walks across the blue line. He looks, leads it to Mizzle. Mizzle all the way down to Bauer. Bauer walks in, fires, hits traffic. Kurvita battles his man in the corner. Stillwater picks it up and now rolls. They sneak it across the line. Nolan waits, gets it to Kurvita. Kurvita slides to Nolan. Picked up by Mizzle. Mizzle now gains the line. Walks in, sets up shop. Gets it back to Nolan. Nolan drives, leaves it to Mizzle. Mizzle down the circle. Down to Bauer, one-time Quaker. And somehow it's saved. Wow. Nice stop by the pony tender. I thought that was in. I was all ready to celebrate a certified fresh Quaker goal. But no, nothing. As Ivany, Wilkins, and Potter, backed up by Dorsey and Darlene. Back to the point, Dorsey looks. Fires it to Darlene. Darlene from the point, a long shot. Shouldered away. Dorsey pinches up. Tries to kick it, working it. Both teams battling. As Dorsey slides it back to Darlene. Darlene on the line. Working it, working it. Now, Ivany fires a shot. There's a rebound. Banged in! Did you see that? Dorsey on the doorstep. Dorsey doorstep. Fires home the rebound at 10:23 on a power play goal. And the Hornets now lead 3-0. So that brings out Kurvita, Bergmeyer, Wilkins, backed up by Bauer and Helmer. Stillwater throws it up. Bauer returns the favor and slides it down. Held up on the line. Both teams battling. Gain possession. Digging. Puck slides back to Bauer. Bauer from the backside slides it to Helmer. Helmer looks up. Chipped in by Bergmeyer and sent deep into the pony end. They slam it up on the wall, and it's contained by Helmer, who throws it right back down, hitting traffic. Now, ponies look. Long stretch saucer pass. Chipped up by Bauer from the backside. Wilkins turns, burns, and he's pinned to the glass. Bauer tries it. Everyone's getting pinned. Wilkins blows a tire. It's still underneath him. Pony's trying to slide it across. Wilkins throws it up on the wall, and it's pinched down by the defender. Helmer tried to get it over to Bauer. Ponies contain behind the cage. Both teams battling. Comes away to Bauer. Bauer, soft pass, intercepted on the blue line, fired right back down, and waffled aside by a quickie. On the near side wall, both teams once again battling. Comes and pinched at the point. Stillwater desperate to put a point on the board. Sliding across the high slot, working their way in, knocked off the puck. It comes to Kurvita. Kurvita now rolls through the neutral zone, and he slides it down into the pony end. Wilkins in pursuit. Overskates, and the ponies now look to break out. Long saucer pass to nowhere. And Potter picks it up on the backside. Works it up on the wall, runs into a bunch of ponies. Contained by the pony D. No, it's stolen away by Ivany. Ivany rolling in. Look at that move. Still working it. Oh, and he will, the pony will get a penalty, a tripping call. And the Hornets will be right back on the man advantage with 8:38 in the second, leading 3-0. So the Hornets power play, which was devastating last time, will be called upon again to do the same. So Ivany, Wilkins, Potter, Dorsey, Darlene. Off the draw. Wilkins working from the end line, slides it over to Ivany. Ivany on the line, wheels it back to Darlene at the high spot. Down to Dorsey on the dot. Dorsey drives in, a firing shot off the side of the twine. Now it's saved by Potter, who rolls it up on the wall. Dorsey slides it back to Darlene at the point. Darlene walks across the line. One-time cranker. No connection there. As it comes away, Potter now works from the corner. Looks up. Back to Ivany. Ivany across on the high slot. Wheeling, looking down to Dorsey. Dorsey looks. He slides across the circle, leaves it for Ivany. Ivany drives in. It's forced across on the end line around the cage. Wheeling, dealing, around the circle. Sliding it down. Back to the point to Ivany. Ivany leads it to Darlene. Darlene sends it down to Wilkins. A hot pass, but he still contains it on the end line. Battling for the puck. Potter works it. Slides it to Wilkins. Wilkins looks. To Ivany on the circle. Ivany back to Darlene at the point. Looking. A firing shot is trapped away by the Pony tender. 50 seconds left in the man advantage. 7:28 on the clock. And we'll switch up the power play. We'll bring on Nolan, Hester, and Kurvita, backed up by Mizzle and Bauer. Off the draw, tied up, comes back to Hester. Hester slides across to Bauer. Bauer from the point, he cycles, he looks. He leads it to Mizzle. Mizzle now walks across the line. A shot. Scooped up by Stillwater. We'll get a face-off to the left of the tender. Off the draw, comes away. Stillwater cycles behind the cage. Looking up, whiffing on the pass, stolen away by Hester as Nolan battles his man. Hester now trying to work it, sends it back to Mizzle. Mizzle to Nolan. Nolan on the wall. Down to Hester, back to Nolan. Nolan drives in on the circle. Back to Mizzle. Back to Nolan. Nolan now fires. Leg save. Banged in. Kurvita! Sanitation engineer Kurvita has pounded in the rebound. And the Hornet power play has once again proved oh so effective. At 6:55 in the second, the Hornets now have a commanding 4-0 lead. So that brings on Dorsey, Ewers, and Hester, backed up by Potts and Potter. Potter from the backside, wheels, turns, burns, sends it to Potter. Potter sliding it up. One-timer, picked up by Dorsey, stolen away by Stillwater as Dorsey rolls across the red line. He sends it to Potts. Potts sends it on down into the skate of the Ponies as they look to tilt the ice back the other way. All the way back on the line, Stillwater drives in. Potter keeping his man to the outside. A centering pass doesn't connect. A one-time cranker. It's tipped up in the air. Now it comes away to Hester. Hester rolls through the neutral zone. He gains the line. It's pounded across, and we get an offside. Shots are 20-11 in favor of the Hornets. Dorsey on the draw. Tied up, sends back to Potts. Potts loses it in his skates. It's a foot race as he's knocked down, and the Ponies drive in. Firing! Oh, it's a clank! Good tone on that clank, but no goal. Now, Hornets in disarray as they look to gain composure. They slam it out of the zone. Ewers blows a tire. Dorsey from the corner. Slides around his man. Looking for a centering pass. Driving around the circle. Wheeling, dealing. Looking. Leaving it for Potts. It was swept away. And now the Ponies counter with a saucer pass through the neutral zone. They gain on the right side. Rolling in on the circle. A firing shot is turned away by Quickie. Up on the wall. Boys banging. Sliding across ice pass. Hester now has to pick it up. He tried to go rink wide on it. Picked up by Ewers. Ewers across the line. He wheels in. Around the dot. Centering it. Oh, a short side shot into the mask of the goalie. Now it's Hester. Rolling. Sliding it down just a bit beyond Helmer. As the puck is free for a moment. And now Bauer has to collect. Last man back. As the Ponies work it across the line. Helmer from the backside. He looks up. Long saucer pass. Skips over the stick of Ivany. And at 5:05, we get an icing. To bring on Nolan, Ivany, Ferrara, Bauer, Helmer. Puck in the slot area, dangerous. Swept away by Helmer, who throws it up to Ferrara. Ferrara looks. Long stretch pass up to Ivany. Ivany one times it to Nolan. Nolan driving in. Nolan! What a save by the Stillwater Pony Tender. Robbing Nolan. Nice shot, nice save. So we'll do it again. Off the draw, Nolan ties up. Ponies trying to work it up the wall. Now they roll it across. A centering pass fails to connect, but the Ponies are first back. Bauer in, pinning his man up on the wall. Comes away to Ivany. Ivany with speed, starting to roll through the neutral zone. He's going to gain the line. Work it across. Swept away, still banging, still banging. And a little bit of froth. But cooler heads have prevailed. At 4:29 on the clock, with the Hornets up 4-0. So that brings on Bergmeyer, Kervita, Wilkins, backed up by Darlene and Mizzle. Off the draw, Stillwater controls, and they sling it up the far side wall. Tied up in the wall, they try to spring their man, but Darlene chips it right back up the wall. Once again, Darlene pitches it up the wall. And finally, the Ponies are content to just slam it down for what will be an icing. Off the draw, Bergmeyer ties up his man. Ponies now threatening. A 2-on-2 situation as Mizzle lays the wood and slams his man into the boards. Ponies still aggressively working it as Darlene's going to get called. Hooking or holding. Holding is the call. So at 3:58 of the second, Stillwater will have the man advantage for the next 2 minutes. As Darlene is going to do hard time for 2 minutes. So that means Ewers and Bergmeyer, Potts and Potter to kill this one off. Off the draw, contained at the point. They try to go D to D. It's intercepted. Bergmeyer racing in on his man. Knocks him off the puck, but Stillwater controls. Oh, here's a pickpocket opportunity. Working it. Ewers throws it on down. Banged into the boards. Ewers took offense to that. Now Ponies rolling from their end line. Ewers pulls a tire. Now with numbers. Stillwater rolls across. They try to split the D, but held up nicely by Potter as he works his man to the outside. Stillwater working from the corner, now the wall. From the point, sliding it to the other point. Looking. More point action as a shot sails wide and rolls to the far side. Bergmeyer trying to hold his man to the outside, sliding down to the circle, driving it on the dot. A firing shot hits traffic, and there was no rebound as Bergmeyer works his man. Ponies still control. Another long shot, way off target. So the Ponies can't get it on net. Working from behind the cage. Ponies up on the wall, sent back to the point, down on the wall, wheeling, dealing. Long stretch pass to the point. Opportunity now for Ewers. Ewers racing with the puck. He's got Bergmeyer rolling in. A firing shot is saved by the tender. .43 seconds left in the Stillwater man advantage. 2:41 on the clock. The Hornets are commanding 4-0 lead. Can't get complacent as Kervita and Wilkins roll on with Bauer and Helmer. Off the draw, Stillwater trying to work it around. Intercepted. Kervita now banging away. Wilkins slammed to the ice. We're going to get a call. Roughing is the call. So we're going to have some good old-fashioned 4-on-4 hockey for the next 33 seconds, upon which time the Hornets will regain the man advantage. Off the draw, Bauer sends it back to Helmer. Helmer walks in, he fires a shot, it hits traffic, and the Ponies counter with speed through the neutral zone. They gain on the left side, trying to work around Bauer, but alas, they are offsides. Off the draw, Stillwater from the backside. Trying to wheel up, slammed aside by Wilkins. Curvita almost stole it, and now the Ponies counter. Long rink-wide pass skips over a bunch of sticks. Stillwater from the corner. Helmer holding his man to the outside. Nice job tying him up. Ponies still working it. Trying to send it back to the point. Now rolling in. Hornets are back at full strength. Bauer from the corner assesses his options, slides it. Now Wilkins sends it to Curvita. Curvita gains. He looks, stops short, throws it to Mizzle. Mizzle tied up on the wall, throws it back down to Curvita, down to Wilkins. Wilkins from behind the cage, centering out front, banging! Nolan almost punched it through. From the backside, now back out front again. As the Ponies desperate to try to hold it out of the zone. Wilkins from the backside to Nolan, firing a shot. Turned aside by the Pony tender as the Ponies now finally find a way to send it down for an icing. So with 1:15 on the clock, the Hornets will have 45 seconds of man advantage. So Nolan, Hester, and Curvita backed up by Mizzle and Bauer. Off the draw, Nolan sends it to Hester. Hester walks across the circle, drops it to Bauer. Bauer, cross-ice pass to Hester. Hester from the wall, wheels, deals, looks. Back to Mizzle. Mizzle in the high slot, down to Nolan. Nolan has to turn. He had no outlet from the corner. He wheels around the circle, looking for his options. Slides it down to Bauer. Bauer assesses, looks. Exchanges places with Mizzle. Wheels it across to Nolan. Nolan now drives in, sends it down to Hester. Centering pass is deflected away. And here's an opportunity for the Ponies. Screaming down the left side, gaining the line. Bauer racing back, trying to send it through. Well done. The Ponies were thwarted. Comes away to Curvita. Curvita now, last 30 seconds of the period. Wheeling across the neutral zone up to Nolan. Nolan gains, wheels around with one hand, looking for an outlet pass. He's thwarted. And now Mizzle blows a tire, but he saves the day and slips it on down. He gets it to Hester. Hester drops to Nolan. Nolan fires and is saved by the Pony tender. With 12 seconds on the clock and both teams at full strength. Shots are 25-12 in favor of the Hornets. To bring on Ivany, Nolan, and Ferrara. Backed up by Potts and Potter. Nice interception there as Ivany drives in on the slot. He's wheeling. He's dealing. Again on the dot. Firing across. Leg to side. Nolan fires. Fires wide. And that's it for the second. And we will have a resurface with the Hornets up 4-0. And we'll be back. All right. Just about to start the third period. Well, the Hornets cannot get complacent. A 4-0 lead is great, but it means nothing when both teams' seasons are on the line. So we're going to start out with Nolan, Ferrara, and Ivany, backed up by Potts and Potter. Off the face-off, Nolan sends it back to Potter, who chisels it up on the wall to Ferrara. Ponies bounce it right back and send it down into the Hornet end. Potts from the backside tries to cycle it around the net, and the Ponies now looking to drive in, intercepted by Ivany. Ivany rolls up through the neutral zone. He's going to gain on the left side. Walking around the circle, banks it down to Ferrara. Ferrara looking at his options. As the Ponies chip it by and they look to counter back. Sneaks out of the zone, and Potter's the last man back. He claims it, and he rolls behind the Hornets' cage. Now, with speed, looking up ice. Dangerous pass, but he gets it up to Ivany, sliding it across to Nolan. Nolan breaks in. On the circle, a firing shot. There's the rebound, and Ivany couldn't catch up with it as the Ponies counter now with numbers. Rolling across, nice stick check. Sent down, and Darlene looks up from the backside. A saucer pass up to Ivany. Sneaks by him. Icing is called off. Stillwater rolls it around the near side. Held up on the line by Mizzle. He throws it on net, but no connection. Look at all this action out front of the crease as bodies are down on the ice. Ref gets in the way. Fortunate for Nolan. It's now Ponies look to drive across the line. In on the dot. A firing shot goes wide as the Ponies hold the zone and throw it down on Quickie again. Darlene from the backside looks up, pitches it up. Nice catch by Ivany. Ivany works it across the line. He pitches it down deep into the Pony end. Ponies from the end line. Chip it up on the wall. Mizzle holds the zone, but the Ponies now roll through the neutral zone. Hester tries to get his stick on it, walking all the way down. Mizzle pitches it up. So the Ponies throw it on net, but they throw it wide. Disorganized play in the opening seconds of this period. The Ponies driving in, into the slot. Almost slided it past Quick on his backside. Ewers tried to chip it up on the wall. Darlene slapping at it. Everyone's slapping at it. And I think we're going to get a high sticking. And that is the case. So Dorsey, Hester, Ewers, Bauer, and Helmer. At 12:51 in the third. Off the draw, contained by the Pony D at the point. A slamming shot fired into low Earth orbit, and we'll do it again. So Dorsey on the draw. Tied up, sent back to the point. Cranker's shot hits traffic as the Ponies try to drive it in. Helmer controls and bangs his man to the outside. Dorsey holding his man behind the net. Ponies driving, sending it back to the point. A one-time shot. Fires wide. Hester in on the puck. He throws it up on the backhand side of Dorsey. Ewers trying to race his man into the wall. Bauer pitching it up on the wall and sending it down. Almost a pickpocket by Hester. Now rolling across. Ponies in on the high slot. Driving down on the dot. Looking, stopping short. They couldn't find the wheels to get the speed to move through. Helmer holding his man up on the wall. Ponies come away and they work from the corner. Sliding it on back down behind the crease. Helmer battles his man. Ponies come away. Trying to work it through in the slot. A short side shot hits traffic. The D pinches up and rolls down from the corner. A short side shot sails wide. Now the opposite point. Another firing shot. And it's trapped away by Quick as the Hornets couldn't get organized. I'll say it because I say it a lot. Proper breakouts are important. Hornets got to stop monkeying around and start playing precision pass hockey. So Bergmeyer, Kervita, Wilkins, Potts and Potter. Ponies slam it down into the Hornet end. Potter meets it in the corner. He tries to slide it up on the wall. It's pinched. The Ponies slip it right back down. Potter works it, battling his man in the corner. Slides out front, slides across, and Quick got a piece of it. Kurvita up on the wall. Now rolling. He's got Wilkins if you can see him. He slides it up. It takes a funny bounce. Held up on the line, and the Ponies reverse course. Some weird bounces. As Potts throws it to Potter. Potter slides it up to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer across the line, trying to drive in. The Ponies throw it right back out. Working across the line. Potts trying to pick it up. And we get an offsides with 11:09. So face off outside the Hornet end. Stillwater driving down, controlling a side shot, hits off the outside of the net. Pitch back down, again off the twine. Come on, Hornets, let's go. As it's chipped up on the wall, another funny bounce. As Bergmeyer tries to slide it out, Ponies control, and they drive it down, waffled by Quick. Potter on the far side wall, chips it up to Kurvita. Kurvita gets it to Bergmeyer, slapped off the puck, but Kurvita maintains. He rolls across the line, knocked off the puck. The Ponies counter, rolling through the neutral zone. Stopping short, pitching it down, contained by Mizzle. Mizzle from the backside, rolls up through neutral ice. He's going to gain, working in on the circle. Knocked off the puck. As the Ponies now look to contain, but they can't. It's punched back down deep. Wilkins in on the puck. Back to Dahlin. Dahlin fires a long shot, and it's waffled aside. Mizzle from the corner. Centers it out front. One-time shot by Ivany. Doesn't connect. As the Ponies work from behind their cage. Battling. Comes up on the wall to Ivany. Ivany knocked off the puck. Wilkins in on it. He's knocked off. So no one can quite contain. And now the Ponies tilt the ice back. They throw it up on the wall. Working through, and they just shove it all the way down. Should be an icing. And indeed, that is the case. So big on Nolan, Ferrara, and Ivany, backed up by Dahlin and Mizzle. Off the draw, Stillwater looks from behind the net. Looking. Hassled. Up on the wall. Ferrara battles his man. He tries to center it across. Picked off. Stillwater banging from the corner. Nolan in on the puck. He comes away. He's still slapping at it. Comes to Ferrara. Across to Ivany. Ivany pulls it on his backhand. He tried to move, which you rarely see. Back, sliding across to Dahlin. Dahlin walks it in on the circle. He fires. It's a clank. Total clank. But nothing. Back to Dahlin again. Dahlin unloads. Waffled aside and into the webbing. Oh, that move by Ivany. I don't even know how to describe it. So 9:11 on the clock. Hornets up 4-0. Off the draw, Stillwater from the backside. Trying to throw it up on the wall. Stolen away by Ivany. Ivany on the dot. Tried to get it to Ferrara. Ferrara from the near side. Throwing it back. Intercepted by the Ponies. With speed. Rolling through. Nice job by Helmer to slow down the play. But it's a 2-on-1 situation. From the wall. Sliding it across. Turning. Burning. Firing wide. Ponies from the corner. Working it up on the wall. Ferrara hassling his man. Nolan in helping out. Boys battling. Need to have a breakout, boys. Helmer battles a big guy. From the corner. Dishing it back behind the net. Bauer picks it up. He's knocked off the puck, but it comes up to Ivany. Ivany tried to get it to Nolan. The Ponies throw it down. Helmer throws it to Ferrara. Ferrara looks up. Cross-ice pass to Ivany. Comes off his stick funny, and it comes to the corner. He's pinned up on the glass. Nolan in, racing around the cage. Looking for an outlet. Wheeling around the circle. Wheeling, more wheeling. A lot of wheeling. As he slides it down. Bauer slides it into the crease. Intercepted. Bauer again from the dot. Sliding down to Ferrara. Ferrara trying to center it. Slips across to the near side corner. Stillwater pounds it up and out of the zone. Contained. From the backside, Nolan looks up. He crosses the red line. He crosses the blue line. Working his way in. He's got Ferrara. Hot pass. Comes down. Oh, look at that. Anders Ivan, he buries it at 7:48. A puck came free in the slot area, and there was no mistaking that one. So the score is 5-0. And you can feel the air being sucked out of the room as the Stillwater fans are silent. So that brings on Hester, Ewers, and Dorsey, backed up by Potts and Potter. Potter from the backside throws it up. Hot pass, a bit too far for Hester, and we will get an icing. So, off the draw, tied up, comes back to the Pony point. Throwing it down on the wall, and down to the corner, Potts plays it up on the wall again. Right out front, comes away to Potter. Potter now with numbers, rolls up through the neutral zone. He's going to gain the line. Stopping short, loses the puck, comes away to Ewers. Ewers leaves it to Potts. Potts slides it down to the corner. Dorsey in on it. He slides around his man, working from behind the cage, looking at an outlet. Wheeling around the circle. Sliding it back to Potts. Potts on the line. Looking. He slides it down to that corner again. Ewers in on it. Comes away to Hester. Overskates. Now the Ponies are desperate to try to get something going. Hester tried to get it to Dorsey out front. And now the Ponies counter with speed. Rolling through. Stopped by Potts. The Ponies are thwarted. Now comes away. Over to Ewers. He crosses the line. Works through his man. There in the slot. Tipped away by the Pony defenders as they counter and roll through the neutral zone. Hassled by Hester. Held up on the line. Good job by Hester. As now Potter intercepts, rolls, slides to Hester. Hester's rolling. He's got Ewers. Or Dorsey. Looking. Sliding across. Oh, it was on Dorsey's backhand side. A one-time cranker from Ewers. Doesn't connect. And the puck slides all the way down for Darlene to collect. Darlene goes rink wide to Ewers. Ewers holds up on the line, looks up at his options. Sliding it up to Dorsey. Dorsey now works through his man, pounds it down. And the Hornets go for a line change. As Kervita's in on the puck. Tries to leave it to Mizzle. Mizzle walks in on the circle, knocked off the puck, and the Ponies counter back. Good job back checking by Wilkins as now Kervita's free. He fires wide. And the puck sneaks out of the zone and Mizzle collects. Sliding it to Darlene. Darlene punches it up the wall to Kervita. Intercepted by the Ponies, but intercepted by Kervita. Now rolling down. Bergmeyer trying to catch up with it. Wilkins on the backside. Held on the line by Darlene. Darlene works into the slot. Kicking at it. And now here's a break for the Ponies. Rolling in. 1-0. Mizzle racing in. A firing shot. A leg shot. A firing shot. A save. Did you see it? The Quickster. Standing tall in the pipes. Has saved the Hornets' bacon with 5:23 on the clock. Off the draw, boys battling. Comes away to Helmer. Helmer from behind the cage. Slides it up to Bauer. Bauer looks. Rink wide pass. Wilkins got some clear ice as he rolls up and gains. He throws it down into the Pony end. From behind the net, sliding all the way around, Bauer contains at the point. Wheels across the line. Sends it over to Helmer. Helmer from the circle. Fires a shot. It's out front. It's banging. Look at the bang. Ponies come away and they tilt back with speed and numbers. Rolling. Bauer, last man back. Sliding it up. Gets it to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer rolls in. Now the Hornets have numbers. Roll again. Bergie. He fires. He scores. Bergmeyer finding a low laser shot on a transition play that the Hornets capitalize on. With 4:45 left in this game, it is now 6-0. And now the boys got to dig deep and maintain the shutout for the Quickster. So Nolan, Ivany, and Ferrara, backed up by Helmer and Bauer. From the backside, Helmer assesses. Long stretcher into Nolan's skates as he has to punch it back. Helmer now once again sliding to Bauer. Bauer looks up ice to Nolan. One-timer up to Ivany. Ivany rolls in. Looks toe drag, slides it across. A bit too high for Ferrara. Now Ponies counter with speed. Rolling through the neutral zone. Tied up on the line. Comes away to Bauer. Gets it up to Ferrara. Ferrara swipes at it. And we get an offsides. And now we have running time. So the clock has now ticked under 4 minutes. Off the draw, Potts slides it over to Potter. Potter looks up, chisels it up the wall, gets it up to Nolan. Nolan streaking in, tries to leave it to Ivany, picked off by the Ponies as they counter back through the neutral zone. They gain on the right side, wheeling in. Picked off by Nolan on the wall, he overskates, and the Ponies control. From the point, a cranker, waffled by the Quickster. Nolan slaps it up on the wall to Potter. Potter jams it up, and here come the Hornets. A long stretch pass up to Nolan. Nolan gains the line. He looks for Ferrara. He looks for anyone. Across, a bang, but nothing. And here come the Ponies, wheeling across, looking for any sign of hope. Intercepted by Ivany on the line, but they're persistent. Rolling in. A firing shot is legged aside by the Quickster. Momentarily loose in the slot, now punched up to Nolan. Nolan's got Ivany and Ferrara. 3-on-2 situation. Rolling in. A firing shot. A rebound. But nobody home. Ponies countering through neutral ice. And they slap it on down into the Hornet end. Potter first man in. He dishes the puck around to Potts. Potts looks up ice. Slides it on the backside, but picked up by Ivany. Ivany rolls across her. Gains the blue line as he drives in against two Ponies. He's knocked off the puck. 2.5 minutes to play. As the puck exits the zone, now it's a foot race for Darlene. Darlene shovels it right back up. A trailer for the Ponies now trying to roll in, sliding across. Darlene holds up his man. Slides it around to the near side. Slides up to Nolan. Nolan's going to gain the line. He's got Ivany rolling across. Stopping. Ivany banging. Now banging. More banging. And a goal. Ferrara picked up the second trailer. And Ferrara is red hot with 2 goals in this contest. And the score is 7-0 at 2:03 in the third. So the Hornets have emptied the clip in this game. Let's hope they got more ammo for the next. As Dorsey and Hester and Ewers roll on with Darlene and Mizzle. Off the draw, Ponies slide it up on the wall looking for daylight. Intercepted by Dorsey. Now pounded down into the arms of Darlene. Long stretch pass. Hester rolling in, looking for a centering. It's chipped up in the air. Ewers can't bat it down. He wheels from the corner. Slides past Hester, and the Ponies now look up ice. A long pass, picked up by Mizzle. Mizzle stops short. He's banged off the puck. The Ponies control across the line. Wheeling down and offside. We're approaching the final minute of play. The Hornets will advance. They will play Apple Valley, Burnsville, Eastview. One of those combo programs in the South Metro. As Bauer from behind the cage looks at his options. Rolling up, sliding up to Hester. One time to Dorsey. Dorsey with speed. He tries to split the D. Rolling through, knocked off the puck. It's the Ponies counter. But Bauer is there at the red line, throwing it up to Dorsey. Dorsey punches it down, and Stillwater will get a penalty. So they check Dorsey from behind. Cross check. I don't even know if we're going to get another face-off out of this, as we have 30 seconds on the clock. From the backside, Helmer looks up, slides it up, Hester throws it down into the pony end, and that's going to do it. Game 1 in the books with a convincing win where your Hornets took down Stillwater 7-0. Which is a good thing because the loser has to play in the crappy arena tomorrow. I believe the game is at 2 o'clock. Oh, I don't know when the game is, so stay tuned. But we will have 2 games tomorrow. So we're discussing the schedule. I don't know. I think we have 2 games tomorrow, and it's likely one of the games will be in the morning at some point. So that's it from St. Croix Valley Recreation Center, and we'll see you tomorrow.